Transition partners take mental health very seriously. We are now supporting Claro Mental Health Charity, who are local and based in Harrogate. We are working closely with Richard Kenny, who is the IT director at TechBuyer. Claro operates as a commercial workshop making goods for businesses which enable those with long-term mental health conditions to function in a voluntary real work environment. We would love it if you can join us in supporting this amazing cause and charity and donate what you can. Any amount would be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much, and thanks to all our listeners.
Hi, this is the Let's Talk Leadership podcast. My name's Elly Greening.
And my name's Sandra Stewart.
On this podcast, we will be interviewing some of the UK's greatest tech leaders. We'll be discussing war stories, battle scars, and their learnings from their journeys.
Hopefully, you will pick up some great tips, learn from others' experiences, and have a good laugh along the way.
Hi, and welcome to the Let's Talk Leadership podcast. So we're super excited this week to be joined by Itay Kinnrot, who is VP of R&D Media and Telecom at Kaltura. So Kaltura provide live and on-demand video software as a service solutions to thousands of organizations around the world, engaging hundreds of millions of viewers at home, work, and at school. Their off-the-shelf software as a service products are known for their unparalleled flexibility, modularity, extendability, and ease of integration. They're all built on top of hundreds of open APIs for video ingestion, transcoding, metadata management, distribution, publishing, engagement, monetization, and analytics. So after working for Kaltura for 8 years, Itay has recently taken over as VP of R&D within the Media and Telecom division. So we cannot wait to hear your story today about your journey into tech and your role at Kaltura. So thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Hi, Itay. Nice to meet you.
Hello.
So fantastic. So we'd just like to initially start with, as Elly said, we're really excited and looking forward to hearing about your story and your journey as to how how it all began, how it all started, how you got into tech, and more importantly, how you got to where you are today.
Sure. So I think I will start from the beginning.
Yeah.
So
Good
I
place
think,
to start.
yeah, it's a good place to start. Yeah. So I think when I was around 7 years old, I got my first computer, and it was like a really, really old one, not as the
What computer was it?
What is the XT 386 back in the days with a green screen and the other stuff. So, and when I got this computer, there was no actually games and stuff like that. So we got the first book called the Basic, and I was in my second grade or something like that. I didn't know English a lot, so my big sister actually was sitting with me, and which actually we did it together. Starting to program in Basic, a few commands, and then we bought another book and started, to get really involved there. I must say that my big sister had a lot of patience. Of course, today she's not a programmer or something like that. And I think this was like the first steps, to get into this techie environment. After that, of course, during my studies and others, I, of course, did a lot of math related topics and computers and physics and stuff like that. And after my army time, I was also, doing some, of course, I did my, finish my bachelor degree and a master degree with computer science. So this is from the tech perspective, and then we go for the management perspective of leadership. So as a child, I think I was very, I didn't have a lot of self-confidence and was very shy, to open to people. I think what actually made a change, was a few topics. So the first of them, of course, is my army time. I was in a combat unit, and I was also a commander there, and it really, 3 years, changing to different perspectives and stuff like that. It really did a good change in at least for me in that perspective, and gave me a lot of self-confidence and believe in myself, and no more fears, from the simple stuff. Yeah. And the second thing I think is that the first jobs I got, during my student time and the first real job, I think it was mainly my managers. I learned from them a lot. So the type of manager, that they give you the freedom to do whatever you want, and just give you the guidelines, and you can also always raise flags and come with them with issues and problems.
Need support.
Yeah. So, and this is what actually gave me a lot of also confidence to lead people, to lead people, because I know, okay, this is how we do it. I must say I had I had great luck with my managers, till today. And I think that's also one of the key things that helped me with my accomplished today. You are a manager through your people. If your team is not making the job and excel, you as a manager will not excel.
Yeah, so, no, definitely. It's all about the people, isn't it? And empowering.
It's all about the people. Yeah.
100%. So, so then you went on to your first role, sort of in tech, was customer support engineer. Was that right?
So yeah, it was like a help desk. I was doing like monitoring servers, and while doing that, it was like, I think, in HP and Hewlett Packard. So we actually managed a few servers for a few companies. And during that job, I already started to do the extra work to make sure I will have enough time to study. So, for example, when we got emails, something went wrong. Okay, now I need to go do that and that. So I started to write automation for that. So when we got this email, it was connecting to a server, do the command that need, and send me an email. Okay, everything is okay. And that actually gave me a lot of time to study during this first job.
Oh, brilliant.
So after that, one of the companies that we were monitoring the servers actually offered me a job.
Oh, fantastic.
So I just rolled out to my next adventure. And again, I started during my studies as a quality assurance engineer. And also, I started to test things manually. And then I started to write scripts and programs that will help me do my job better. And then my manager saw it, and I said, okay, you need to move to the developer side and not, So that's also how I started my engineering parts, development. It was in a company, it used to call iBlaster. It changed its name a few times to MediaMind, and then Seismic, and then Amazon bought them a year or two ago.
Wow.
And it was like an ad tech company. So I started there as a QA and developer, and then I did a few developer position there, like front end and also infrastructure. Cool. And after a while, I took over a team there, and I started to lead a team. And what also, I must say, sorry.
What size was that team? What size team?
Like five people.
Okay.
Like,
cool.
And I also must say that I learned a lot from my first, from two of my managers there. Okay, or three actually. Again, all of them was really good people, like excellent people even, very good managers that helped me to, on both sides, also manage the people and manage the task and the technology side.
Brilliant. Sounds like you've worked with some great managers who have inspired you.
Yeah, for sure. So if my manager is hearing that, yeah, it's all about you. Yeah.
Thank them.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think again the main challenge that the type of jobs I do and the main challenges I have that I'm both very technologies. So I like to do hands-on stuff and POCs and solving problems and helping the team. And also, you know, you need to manage the team itself from people management and making sure everyone will have the right fuel to do their work, you know. So I think this is the two main aspects of the type of leadership that I'm doing.
No, definitely, 100%. And so you've been with Kaltura now then for 8 years. I think you started in front end development there, and obviously worked your way up through to team leader, management, and now VP level. Tell us a little bit more about your current role and what the reach of your current role, responsibilities, challenges that you're currently facing.
Sure. So first of all, I started when I joined Kaltura, we were around 70 people. So, and now we are over 500.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was like I came to a startup, and I also feel that we are still at a startup, but the company got bigger and bigger. You know, we acquired a few companies on the way, and we got a lot of great customers and great product in the company. So I started again as actually almost at the same job that I had previously as leading a front-end team, which actually was the player team, the one that's responsible that when you go to sites like Disney or TMZ or any type of videos that you consume from the internet. So our product was the first product you will see. Is the player. You press play and you hope the video will play. Okay. It sounds a simple task.
Yeah.
But then again, there are some challenges there. So I started from there. And when the company got a little bit bigger and bigger, and we got more people, more projects, more customers, and more products that we need to invest in, then I actually took over a few teams. If it's a player team, of course, this is my baby, so I can't. And also a front-end team. So front-end is also to manage our, the product itself is actually for a TV operator like Sky or Vodafone that want to operate an OTT service, meaning like we actually sell something like Netflix in a box, one of our products, okay? You want to give a Netflix experience to your audience, to your customers. So we give you all the APIs you need for that and all the management console. So this is, again, one of the products. And also the front-end application at the end. And this is another team. And also the data team, which recently started to also manage, which is also something that's very close to my heart in the last 2 or 3 years, because we do understand now that without data and without checking what actually going out in the crowd and how we can get better, this is why we invest a lot in this area, and this is why I also started working on that also. So yeah.
Fantastic. Brilliant. And so what would you say that the main kind of challenges and pain points that you're currently experiencing in your role?
So Yeah, I think that one challenge that we can point is the world is changing, a lot. So from your perspective, okay, first of all, if we look at the technology stack, so with the video, playing video with in high scale and making sure it will be as efficient as possible with all the technologies that keep going forward and forward. So you can look at it from any perspective, from something that everyone knows is HD, 4K, 8K, the type of TVs and devices that we are getting, and the level of support that they all get, the HDR, for example, the high definition color range that now people can get, and new devices, new TVs. So it keep getting how to monitor these technologies. So this is on one aspect. The other aspect is another change that happened during the last few years, the cloud transformation. Okay, so till a year or two ago, we used to have like our servers that we are maintain and hold, and everything took some time to deploy and stuff like that. And today, using the cloud services like Amazon and others, it's becoming actually much more simpler to do this kind of stuff. You just need to change the methodology, change the how people are looking at this technology and trying to adopt them. And this is what we are actually trying to do with our data product now, to make it like a brand new, following new types of technologies like continuous integration, continuous deployment, and making sure that each developer can just do his work and send it to production as fast as possible at the end in the safest way. And other challenges is again, so now I also manage people that are in Israel, and also we have some offshore sites. So this is another aspect of challenge that I have is making sure that I give my managers the attention they need, making sure I'm aware of all the issues and how can I help to resolve them, and making sure that everyone also is at sync. Let's say before, I'm sure we'll get to the COVID-19 question soon, but before the COVID-19, we were in the office, and we can close in, face to face and stuff like that. Actually, I think that and what was challenging is to make sure that all the people are in sync, both that are in the office and out of the office. I think one dramatic change that happened due to the COVID-19 is that now everyone is on the same level of communication. Everyone is available through the Teams or Zoom or whatever, and or from the chat, and everyone is the same in this level. No one has a priority because they can come to you and knock on your door and tell you 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
so this is,
exactly. Everyone's on a level playing field, which is, I guess, it's good for collaboration with the offshore teams because it puts everyone on the same side. So this leads me really nicely onto my question then. So the offshore teams, where are they based?
In Belarus.
Okay, cool. And how many people are you responsible for at the moment then?
It's around 30, yeah.
30 people. Okay, perfect. So it'll be interesting. You've clearly taken lots of inspiration from prior leaders of yours from your time in the army and as you've progressed and developed your career within tech. But I'd love to know more about your leadership style and how your teams would describe you.
Sure. So I think first of all, I have a lot of trust in my people. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
From the moment I hire them, I make sure they are aware that they are the responsible one for their action, and they have full accountability of the work that they are responsible for. So this is for my manager and also for the people that they manage. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is one thing. The second thing is that I give they all know they have full flexibility to complete their work. Okay. I don't count hours for my people. I count actions.
Right.
Yeah. So if someone wants to do a job during the night or during the office hours because we have something to do in the morning that he thinks is more important, I give him the full. I have full trust with him to know it and to do his work when he needs. Okay.
Yeah. Brilliant. So you have all different people working different times and everything, and you make it work.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah. Of course, if we have like the stand-up daily or something like that,
Yeah.
that you need to. Of course, it's something that he need to tell one of his colleagues what his status or actually participate in. But in general, the people know they have the flexibility to work when they however they want. Okay, as long as they deliver their what they agree on. Okay, this is like the basic rule that tell it like that.
Yeah, perfect. I think that leads quite nicely on to a question around talent, really. How do you, obviously you're very flexible, you're very trusting as a leader, but how do you attract and retain talent?
So yeah, that's a great question. So first of all, I think that with the technology that we are dealing with is really, really interesting. Okay. It's the impact every one of our everyone. Okay, everyone today have at least one service at home for TV. Okay, if it's Netflix or Sky or Disney Plus or any other of that. So everyone actually know what we are doing and what we are actually developing, which is really, really exciting, and we're really impacting a lot of people. Like we touch at the end more than 100 million people.
Wow.
Our technology actually touch, whatever my team develop is actually touch more than 100 million people. Okay, and we do cool. Like monthly releases. It's amazing when we release, a new version of our Player SDK, for example, for Android, and we get the statistic. That we have like many also big customer also in India, which is a very big market for us, and we see exactly how they use it. We see what is the performance and stuff like that. So this is really something really amazing. The second thing is that so besides the technology is the innovation. I specifically and the company give a lot of attention for innovation, and when I say innovation, it's we can separate it into few parts. So one of them is, for example, if someone have an idea, to do something else, to do the specific task or specific technology, to do it in a different way, in an innovative way. This is something I always open to hear.
Yeah, great.
And usually I will always find the time for the engineer to actually do a POC, to start implement it, and to get and maybe just guide him how to make sure we get what we need as fast as possible or as efficient as possible. But this is something we put extra care. We have also innovation and ideas that come from a product or from me or from other tech leader in the company. And also we do like a yearly event. This is specifically about innovation, the hackathon. Like,
Oh, cool.
yeah,
Hackathons.
yeah. So actually, I and some of my colleagues in the company started it like 5 years ago in the company, and we actually borrowed it from the last company I worked on. So it was in the last company, it was like Innovation Week. We just call it a hackathon, which is an amazing event, for all the company to actually create and think of new ideas, if it's for the company, if it's for technologies, if it's for processes that they are doing in the company. And then we finish it with an amazing event where people can actually go on the stage and present to the co-founders of the company, like what they did. And it's a really nice event. Can send you videos afterward if you would like to see some.
Yeah, do you know what we'd be really interested, wouldn't we, Sandra? Because this year we were going to plan a hackathon, but then everything with COVID, it wasn't really the time for it. So it's definitely on we run a lot of tech events already, but we haven't done a hackathon yet, and that's like on our to-do list, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to see those pictures and just learn a bit more how you run them and things. That'd be really interesting.
So I also joined a few hackathons myself in the past, and it's really exciting. It has a lot of excitement, and if you have the right team, it's really fun. Yeah.
Fantastic. Cool. So we've obviously talked a lot about just recently about attraction, and you've grown a great pace. Obviously from 70 to 500 is just like, it's amazing. So you've obviously placed quite a lot of importance on tech and innovation. I think what we'd really be interested to know on that point then is what your opinion and view is around the future of tech.
Sure. So I think this is something that every tech leader must have in arsenal. Let's call it like that. So the one thing that I already talked about is the cloud infrastructure. Okay, this is something that really changed the way the speed of changes you can do with this infrastructure. So today, using a few clicks and a few APIs calls, you can do something that in the past, I mean, 1 year ago, 2 years ago, you needed a full team and a work of 2 months to actually create this environment. Okay. So this is one big change that happened. And the second thing is of course, the machine learning. So, and the data, okay, there is a fair say that data is the new oil. So so the new gold or the new, I don't know what. So but you need actually to create some benefit from that. So if you look at machine learning specifically, and also combining it with the cloud infrastructure that we have today, it's meaning that everyone from my developer or from any developers that have access to this infrastructure can actually define. It doesn't need to know much about machine learning. You just need to know how to wrap his data in the right place and know what is the target function that you want to optimize. Let's call it like that. And just again, put it in the cloud. Okay, Amazon and Microsoft and Google have the right infrastructure for that. And they can just give them this data set and the cloud will run. They have something called today automatic machine learning or autopilot or something like that. So you don't really need to know much about machine learning. Amazon and Google and Microsoft will give you whatever they already found on that. And they will start, putting the machines to process your data, and will optimize it again and again and again, depend the level that you want to get into. And then you will get a model, what we call a model, that you can actually deploy it as a service and just start using it. Okay, so if we take I don't know, this podcast for example, you can upload the text of each of your speakers that you had till today. This is your model, okay? Send it to the cloud, and also send the number of people that listen to it, even in a specific minute, And then you can identify exactly what you need to look for to enrich your audience, okay? This is just a small example, but the main thing is that everyone can actually get access to this technology. Everyone, and every tech leader should know this technology. The technology is out there, and use it to help him to get better. Get better with his product, get better with his technology, get better with his people. So this is, I
make
think,
the most of what you've got and the ability to be able to access that on open source tech, which is great.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think this is,
amazing. So obviously your role at Kaltura sounds pretty cool. Sounds like a good company. Sounds like you got a lot of autonomy. They really push and advocate innovation, which is amazing. That's clear from your hackathons, and yeah, that's fantastic. But I'd love to finish the podcast then with finding out about, like, what are you most excited about? What big plans have you got for the next 12 months of the team? Any personal projects, and what's next for you?
Oh, so much. So yeah, I think again. So what I just talked about now is the data and how to use data to get better. This is something that is still in my mind and still with a few people, but it's still we have a lot of work to do around that. To connect the teams together to make sure they can give the right data they need and to get the right information they need from the data lake. Okay, this is how we call it here. So making sure everyone will have access to it, so they can benefit whatever they need. And after that, start to model our data in such a way that we can actually extract, as we talked about, the machine learning models. Okay, so we can actually use them to help people to watch better video, to make sure the video will not stuck, to get higher qualities, today people search a lot what they want to see, in the Netflix and other services. Maybe to change the paradigm a little bit, and actually the suggestion will be something that you really want to see, and not something that
never watch.
It's never watched, something like that. We have a lot of work in this area, to making sure the TV will know you better. And when you open at the end, you open the TV and you just want to watch TV, right? You don't want all the fancy stuff around it. So you open the TV and you will actually see what you want to see. And this this is like the target and what we are aiming for. Of course, we have a lot of work on that, but we were very motivated and very, it's something that's close to our heart to help to achieve these goals.
So the customer is truly at the forefront of everything you're doing, which is fantastic. And it sounds like you've got some great ideas to be able to improve that customer journey anyway. And like you say, it must be so lovely working for a company where all your changes are so visual. Like even you'll make amendments, I guess, to the products, and then you get home and you get to see it yourself and your family and things like that. So it's so lovely to be able to do that. So yeah, it's been fantastic having you on the podcast and hearing your story. If anyone does want to reach out and get in touch, what's the best form of contact for you?
So LinkedIn or my email. That LinkedIn can be is the place, I think, to.
Yeah, I think pretty much most people in tech use LinkedIn, don't they? So Fantastic. Well, it's been great to hear your story. Thanks for joining us on the show, and we look forward to releasing your podcast.
Thank
We'll
you.
be
Thank you
in
for
touch
inviting me.
anyway to pick your brain about the hackathon. So thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.